Well, hello folks, and welcome back to another Kipper Tales. Well, after the successful test of the engine following our issues with the air, we at last had some time together as a family, so hatched a grand plan to head upriver for the night, spend the night on the hook, do some exploring, and then, on the way home next day, beach the boat, and then power wash and scrub the underside. So we made our way out through the channel, and unfortunately we didn't get a chance to film what followed. But as we got to the outer marker, you can see here, I noticed that suddenly we weren't making as much way compared to the revs of the engine. I then discovered that we weren't making any way at all with the engine. It was just the tide, which was now in full flood, which was taking us upriver at an alarming rate of knots. The only thing we could do was to get some rag up, PDQ, and see if we could make our way into shallower water and drop the anchor while we get to the bottom of the problem. But the tide was now in full flood, and we just couldn't make any real headway against it. So there was only one thing to do: call for help. Luckily, we were still pretty close to the Neyland Yacht Haven, so we give the guys a call in the hope that they might be able to help us. To their absolute credit, without a moment's hesitation, the guys came out and towed us back into the marina and put us safely back on the berth. Thanks, guys. The big question is, what's happened? I looked in the engine bay and I could see that when in gear, the prop was actually turning quite nicely. But what was happening underneath the water? There's only one way to find out, and that's get a camera under the water and see what's going on. I have to say, I was really surprised to see the prop still there. The prop doesn't look great, but it's turning. But there's no power in the prop at all, and awful sounds. So my theory is that the prop has actually come loose on the shaft, and the shaft is turning inside the propeller. Thus, there's absolutely no power. There's only one way to go with this, and that's to get the boat out of the water and find out what's going on. You can see why we'd planned to scrub the boat as well. It's looking like bikini bottom under here. Rather alarmingly, there seems to be a chunk taken out of the leading edge of the rudder. I wonder if it's related. Perhaps another part of the mystery that we need to look into? Well, one thing's for sure, that's not going to happen very quickly over the bank holiday weekends. So it gives us time to think about it, but we've also got to do something else with ourselves while we're here. Well, this is Early Bird. She's a Trident Voyager 35. Now, I've seen this boat many times over the last 5 years, and it's amazing that sometimes you look at a boat and you think, I wonder what your history is. Well, recently she came on the market, and it was only at this point that I discovered that she has one hell of a history. So Early Bird was built by Trident Marine in Portsmouth in 1977. And she's believed to be the display boat that was used at the London Boat Show that very year. Originally, she was called T. Early Bird. Perhaps it's the Yorkshire thing, I don't know. But anyway, she was then bought by Jeff Hainsworth in 1993. He then spent a year learning how to sail her, and then in 1994 set off on a 3-year epic. Yes, he crossed the pond to Barbados, and then between 1994 and 1997 completed a full circumnavigation of the world. 28,000 miles in this very boat. Isn't that amazing? His journey also included the Panama and the Corinth canals. And then when he got home, he wrote a book about it. Now you know, I've always been a sucker for a boat with a book written about it. Just look at Kipper. So when I heard about this fantastic boat, first thing I did was go out and buy the book. And then I made contact with the current owner. To my utter disappointment, I found that the boat had already been sold. Within a week of coming on the market, somebody snapped her up. But who could blame them? What a boat. Well, we made the best of a bad situation. Join us next time, folks, and we'll keep you posted on developments. Thanks for being part of this journey, folks. Don't forget, hit that bell and stay up to date with all the latest developments.